let's get some younger, fresher TJ. You don't have to worry about that when it's your own media company and you essentially are your own producer and director and network executive. So again, you're a lot younger than I am, but when I look at most major news networks around the world, they are, they have some people who are older, who are really well known because they've been on the air for 30 years and they have a fan base. But the average presenter, news reader, they're more than happy to find somebody 25, 22, really good looking, skin glowing without even needing makeup, because there's always someone new like that every single day showing up at TV news networks. And, I don't want to have to compete with someone based on their hairline and having smooth
To me,
skin.
I think everyone's beautiful, no matter what age, color. I just think, me personally, everyone is absolutely beautiful. To me, I just look at everyone like that. I don't look at the age, and it's how they are. As long as they've got a good heart and they've got compassion, that's all you need to get by, I think, in this day and age. As long as
Well, but it's a wonderful sentiment. And I like to think I subscribe to that a lot of times too. But let me ask you, and I have seen ITV, but I haven't seen it lately. When you look at the people they hire as on-air presenters and hosts and reporters, think of like the 10 most obvious people you've seen in those roles. I'm not saying they're all beautiful looking movie stars, but now think of it when you go to the grocery store or the mall or just the average walking downtown in a regular street and look at the looks of people there. Are you telling me that the host on ITV really seem to be completely average looking? My perception is still to this day is that most TV hosts, reporters, anchors, presenters are substantially better looking than the average person on the street. But I could be wrong. Tell me your perception.
Yes, 100% they are, because they've got to be, haven't they, at the end of the day? You've got to be that person who looks perfect in front of the camera, not camera shy. So when you do look at, an ITV presenter, yes, all TV presenters, I'd say they're all good looking. They're all kind of so confident. And
generally they're better looking than average. There's no doubt about it. So again, that leads me to why focus your energy there? And I'm not saying you're not better looking than average, but again, neither one of us is 24 years old. And when you have your own show on YouTube, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on other social media platforms, you don't have to worry about some executive saying, TJ's getting a little too wrinkled. Let's kick him out on the street. You don't have to worry about that, because the whole reason a TV network is attractive to people is it has relationships with an audience. It has relationships with advertisers that will allow you to get paid. Mm-hmm. Well, these days, entrepreneurial minded people can do the very same thing with social media and their own independent companies. Now, I'm not a fan of Brand. What is this? The comedian Brand.
Oh, Brand.
Brand.
Oh, Russell Brand, you mean? Is it Russell Brand?
A comedian with long, thick hair, Brand. His name is not Ellis, but it's Brand.
Yeah, Russell Brand.
Russell Brand. Yeah, I'm not a fan of his politics.
Yeah.
But he understands that, he doesn't need the big TV networks and the big newspaper behind him. He's created his own media company. Same with Piers Morgan in your country. And here in the United States, there's countless people who have made more money just running their own independent media companies than when they worked for a TV network. So it's just something I'd ask you. The other thing about it is you can do a show every day if you want. You can do a 4-hour show every day and get better and better and better. You work for a big TV network. Yeah, maybe they have you on 1 hour a day, which is plenty. But then a new program director comes in. Maybe they keep your salary the same and you're doing 1 hour on the weekend. So now you're sitting around all the time and maybe doing other things you don't enjoy. Create your own media company and you can be on people's TVs as much as possible. Again, I can go home today watch our interview on my TV set if I want to, and it would be really big. It's a large TV. So if the goal is to be on TV, you don't need any executive to give you permission.
This is what family keep doing as well. And bless him, my uncle rang me this morning and he says, I've been watching you on my big TV screen. I said, have you, Uncle Dave? And he says, yes. He says, Dusk Till Dawn Studios, and it's my local recording studio where I am now. They've been kind enough to let me use the studio, for the podcast. And, they're amazing. They're like based in Chadderton in the UK. But it's just like when they do all my songs, everyone, our family are watching like every recording. They'll watch it on the big TV screen. So like you say, you can actually do your own media, can't you, to get yourself out there. And this is what I want to kind of come across as confident as you come across. And I want to, have that audience that you have as well, so the more I learn and the more, I need to learn as well. The more courses, I'll definitely go on more courses that you've done as well.
Well, you look and sound confident to me. So that's great. But it just becomes easier the more you do it. People ask me if I get nervous before doing interviews or being interviewed, whether it's CNN or BBC or talking to folks like you. And the answer is no. It's not because I was born with 1,000 times more confidence in anyone. It's just that I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of hours in front of a camera. I've made thousands of videos. It's really hard to be nervous or uncomfortable with anything you've done 1,000 times. The first time anyone's ever drives a car to the grocery store, if they're 15, 16 years old, it can be pretty nerve-wracking. But if you've been driving for 15 years and someone tosses you the keys to the car and says, oh, we're short of milk, can you go get it? It's pretty hard to be nervous driving to the store. Why? Because you've done it 1,000 times. It is exactly the same thing.
It's like riding a bike, isn't it? Once you've learned it, it's just practice makes perfect, isn't it? Where you'd never have thought you would have been shy as a child, because you don't come across shy at all to myself. But, like when I've been reading all about you and doing all history on yourself, and I used to be really shy, and you'd never ever have thought you was that shy child. It's definitely not.
I was very shy as a kid. So, you can really take control over your destiny and your personality, I believe, if you actively decide you want to. Elaine, you have a passion for counseling people, helping people during bereavement, other psychological ways of helping people. I would just ask you to think about if you could talk to the 100 most interesting people in the world that have something to do with your passion in life, who would they be? And then why not call them, write them, email them, text them, tweet them, ask them if you could interview them? Worst thing that could happen is they say no, or they're too busy, but some of them will say yes. Some of them will have a new book out. Some of them will just be actively looking for attention. Why not do that? Because if you're again, I don't want to sound like I'm anti-ITV, but if you're an ITV presenter, they may ask you to interview a football star, and maybe you don't care anything about football. Not really going to be that interesting to you.